Hey everyone, my name is Jamal. I am an English learner, and in this channel, I am doing videos that will help me to improve my English skills and at the same time, sharing my English journey with you guys. So, in today's video, I'm going to speak about a big mistake that I have done when I first started learning English language. So, let's start. When I first started learning English language, I started with grammar rules. And I had a mindset then. And that time I had a mindset which is if I master grammar, that means that I'm going to speak the language fluently and easily. So when I started with memorizing grammar rules, tenses, conditionals, and memorizing a lot of vocabulary lists and passive voice and all those things. I started by memorizing them and doing them every day. So after a certain period of time, I think it was 2 months, I didn't see any difference in my English language. And it was really frustrating. So I take a moment of realization, not a realization, but of thinking. I was thinking about, okay, I spent I spent so much time, on my English, but I can speak the language. I can understand what other people saying. It was, I was sad. Okay, it was frustrating, obviously. 2 months of learning English every day, but you cannot speak, you cannot see any results. It was frustrating, honestly. So, when I realized that I was doing a big mistake, and that moment of realization, came to me when I watched a video on YouTube about how can you learn English effectively. That video was in the channel of Stephen Kaufman, the famous polyglot. I think all of you know it, guys. So when I realized that I was doing a big mistake, a huge mistake, and when I realized that, I changed everything. I changed everything, literally everything. The strategy and the method that I was following was ineffective, exactly like that. So the information and the advice that I have taken from the video of Stephen Kaufman was like that. When you are a beginner, when if you want to learn English from scratch, okay, the first thing that you should do is to listen to the language, to recognize the language. Your brain should recognize the language, should recognize the patterns, the pronunciation, the vocabulary, and all those things. And the way that will help you to do that is through listening and reading inputs. Those things that called inputs. You understand? So that means you are consuming the language. When I when I saw this idea, uh, you know, I started doing it. I started applying it in my English, practicing. And outputs also, you should also speak and write at the same time. For example, you take two videos on YouTube, or I don't know, audiobooks, podcasts, or anything. You are listening and reading, for example, articles or text or anything. You are consuming the language in general speaking. You should also produce the language, and you should balance between them. You understand? So I started doing that. After a certain period of time, if I remember, it was maybe 1 month and a half or 2 months. I can't remember exactly, but I have seen a huge difference. I know I saw a huge difference in my English language, and I was happy. I was happy because I spent 1 month and a half of following that method of Stephen Kaufman, and I can see the results. I can see the huge difference. I can speak, not that much, but I can speak. I still make mistakes. Even right now, 8 months or 9 months so far, I still making a lot of mistakes. I lack of vocabulary. I do a lot of pronunciation mistakes, but I have an idea inside my mind, which is without mistakes, you cannot improve, you cannot enhance your English skills. Okay? So, like I have said, listening, reading inputs, and speaking, writing outputs, consuming the language, okay, then producing it, okay. And I'm still following this method so far. Even right now, I'm still doing a lot of listening, a lot of reading out loud and quietly sometimes. And I right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to speak the language in front of you, and writing. Sometimes I journal, using English. Sometimes when I take a little bit of time to write down my thoughts, my idea, or my to-do list. I write it. I wrote my to-do list, in a. I usually write my to-do list in English and all those things in English. So the big mistake that I did, when I first started this journey, I want you guys to avoid it. Okay, if you are a beginner, this viewer or this person who is watching this video right now, I know I'm not perfect. I'm not an English, my English is not perfect. I I know I'm still doing a lot of mistakes, and it's obvious from my speech, but I don't care because I have convinced myself that if I don't make mistakes, that means that I'm not trying. I'm not, in the first place, that I'm not trying. You understand? So this is how it works. You should make mistakes in order to grow and enhance your English skills. So if someone of you guys, is doing this mistake, this big mistake, avoid it, remove it. Don't focus on grammar rules. Don't focus on them, especially if you are a beginner. Focus on listening, reading, inputs, and writing and speaking outputs. Do them so much every single day. Consistency beats intensity. Consistency also is very crucial when it comes to language learning. In our case, English, you should practice English every day, okay? And don't focus on grammar rules too much. 1 day per week is enough for grammar rules. Tenses, for example, past simple, those basic roles like past simple, present simple, future simple. And yeah, so I think this is it for today's video. If you like it, give it a like, a subscribe, and a comment below if you have a question. And see you in the next one, guys.